The unit of measure, often abbreviated as UOM, is a fundamental concept in all warehouse operations. It represents the standard way an item is quantified and tracked. Think of it as the basic language for counting and managing inventory. Without a clear UOM, confusion can quickly arise regarding the exact amount of stock on hand or being moved. This standard unit helps everyone involved, from warehouse staff to management, to understand quantities consistently. It forms the very bedrock of inventory control, ensuring that all records reflect the physical reality of goods stored within the facility. This simple yet powerful concept is indispensable for any efficient logistics operation. A UOM defines the specific quantity unit for each item stored within the warehouse. For instance, an item might be measured as an each, a case, a pallet, or by weight like kilograms. The selection of the appropriate UOM is crucial. It must accurately reflect how the item is handled, stored, and sold. This standardization prevents misunderstandings that could lead to significant errors in inventory counts, order fulfillment, and financial reporting. It is the primary identifier for quantity, making all subsequent warehouse processes more reliable and streamlined. Proper UOM definition is a key step in setting up an organized and effective warehouse environment. Consider the journey of a product. It arrives from a supplier, is stored in the warehouse, and then shipped to a customer. At each stage, the UOM provides a consistent reference point. If a supplier sends items in cases, the warehouse needs to know how many individual units are in that case if they also track individual units. This ensures that receiving quantities are correctly recorded. Similarly, when an order is picked, the UOM dictates whether the picker should grab a single item, a full box, or a complete pallet. This precision is vital for maintaining accurate stock levels and meeting customer expectations effectively. Ultimately, the unit of measure is more than just a label. It is an essential piece of data that underpins the entire inventory management strategy. It allows for the precise tracking of goods, which is vital for operational efficiency and financial accuracy. Establishing clear and consistent UOMs across all products is a non-negotiable aspect of modern warehousing. This foundational element supports all other processes, from the initial receipt of goods to their final dispatch. Without this clarity, a warehouse cannot hope to achieve optimal performance or control over its valuable inventory assets. It is a cornerstone of effective facilities planning and operations. Warehouse management systems, commonly known as WMS, heavily rely on accurately defined units of measure. These sophisticated software solutions are designed to control and optimize the day-to-day operations within a warehouse. UOMs are integral to how a WMS tracks inventory levels, manages storage locations, and directs warehouse staff. For example, when goods are received, the WMS uses the UOM to record the quantity added to stock. Similarly, during order picking, the WMS instructs staff on the quantity to retrieve based on the item's UOM. This ensures that the system's digital record accurately mirrors the physical inventory within the warehouse. Enterprise resource planning (ERP) systems also make extensive use of UOM data, although often at a broader, more strategic level. ERP systems integrate various business functions including finance, procurement, sales, and inventory management. UOM information is critical for these systems to perform tasks like calculating inventory valuation, planning purchasing requirements, and managing sales orders. For an ERP system to accurately forecast demand or generate purchase orders, it must understand the UOM in which products are bought, stored, and sold. This allows for consistent data across different departments, from the warehouse floor to the accounting office, ensuring cohesive business operations. The seamless flow of UOM information between a WMS and an ERP system is vital for overall business efficiency. Typically, the ERP system might hold the master UOM data, which is then utilized by the WMS for operational execution. For instance, a company might purchase an item in cases, the purchasing UOM in the ERP, but store and sell it in eaches, the stocking and selling UOM in both ERP and WMS. The systems must be able to handle these conversions accurately to prevent discrepancies. This integration ensures that data entered or generated in one system is correctly reflected in the other, providing a unified view of inventory across the enterprise. Therefore, the correct configuration and diligent maintenance of UOMs within both WMS and ERP systems are paramount. Any inaccuracies in UOM definitions or conversions can lead to a cascade of problems including incorrect inventory records, shipping errors, and flawed financial reporting. Businesses must invest time in setting up their UOM structures properly from the outset. This includes defining base units, alternative units, and conversion factors between them. Regular audits and updates to UOM data are also necessary to maintain system integrity and support efficient, data-driven decision-making throughout the organization. This foundational accuracy is key to leveraging the full power of these management systems. Accurate inventory tracking is one of the most significant benefits derived from the meticulous use of units of measure. When UOMs are clearly defined and consistently applied, the risk of errors in inventory records diminishes substantially. This accuracy means that the warehouse knows precisely how much of each product it holds, preventing situations like stockouts or overstocking. Reliable inventory data allows for better planning and decision-making, ensuring that capital is not unnecessarily tied up in excess stock, and customer orders can be fulfilled promptly. It forms the basis of trust in the inventory system, which is essential for smooth operations and financial health. Efficient warehouse processes are another direct outcome of robust UOM management. Tasks such as receiving, put-away, picking, packing, and shipping all become more streamlined and less prone to error when UOMs are clear. For example, a picker guided by a WMS will know exactly whether to pick individual items or a full case, reducing mistakes and saving time. This clarity speeds up fulfillment cycles and improves labor productivity. Standardized UOMs also simplify cycle counting and physical inventory checks, making these essential tasks quicker and more accurate. This operational efficiency translates directly into reduced labor costs and increased throughput for the warehouse. Effective communication across the supply chain is greatly enhanced by standardized units of measure. When suppliers, the warehouse, and customers all refer to product quantities using the same UOMs, misunderstandings are minimized. This is particularly important when dealing with international trade or complex products. A purchase order specifying 100 cases means the same thing to the supplier sending the goods as it does to the warehouse receiving them. This shared understanding prevents disputes, reduces administrative overhead, and fosters stronger relationships with partners. Clear UOMs act as a common language, facilitating smoother transactions and collaborations. Furthermore, proper UOM management leads to optimized storage space utilization and significant cost savings. Knowing the UOM of each item, along with its dimensions, allows for better planning of storage locations and layouts. For example, understanding that an item is stored in pallets helps in allocating appropriately sized pallet racking spaces. This prevents wasted space and can even reduce the need for warehouse expansion. Cost savings also accrue from reduced errors, lower labor costs due to increased efficiency, and minimized inventory holding costs resulting from accurate stock levels. These financial benefits underscore the strategic importance of UOMs in achieving a lean and cost-effective warehouse operation. Units of measure can be broadly categorized, and understanding these categories helps in their practical application. Discrete units are perhaps the most common, referring to individual items. Examples include an each, EA, a piece, PC, a bottle, or a can. This is often the base unit of an item, representing the smallest countable form in which it is handled or sold. When a customer orders a single book, the UOM is each. When a component is used in manufacturing, it might be tracked as a piece. These discrete UOMs are fundamental for granular inventory control and precise order fulfillment for consumers or internal processes. Packaged units represent a collection of discrete units bundled together for easier handling, storage, or sale. Common examples include a pack, PK, case, CS, carton, CTN, or pallet, PLT. A case of soft drinks, for instance, might contain 24 cans, eaches. A pallet of those cases might hold 50 cases. Warehouse systems must be able to understand these hierarchical relationships and allow for conversions. For example, receiving a pallet means adding a certain number of cases, which in turn means adding an even larger number of eaches to the inventory count. This is vital for efficient bulk handling. Measures are UOMs used for items that are not typically counted individually but are quantified by length, weight, or volume. Examples include liters, L for liquids, kilograms, kg or pounds, LB for bulk solids like grains or chemicals, and meters, M or feet, FT for items like cables or fabric. These UOMs are crucial for industries dealing with bulk commodities or materials that are portioned out. Accurately measuring these items during receiving and dispensing is critical to avoid shortages or overages, and often requires specialized equipment like scales or flow meters integrated with the WMS. In daily warehouse operations, UOMs are constantly in use. During receiving, goods arrive from suppliers, and quantities are verified against the purchase order UOM, for example, 10 pallets of item X. For storage, the WMS might direct these pallets to specific locations, tracking them under the pallet UOM, or breaking them down into cases for different storage zones. When an order is placed, the customer might order in eaches or cases. The fulfillment process then uses this UOM to guide picking, ensuring the correct quantity is retrieved. Finally, during shipping, the UOM confirms the quantity dispatched, ensuring the customer receives exactly what they ordered, thus completing the cycle with accuracy.